So, guys, I wanted to give you a quick update about the whole rent increase situation. So, after thinking about it a lot, I decided to proceed with the 5% increase. And I know it might sound a little bit stupid, especially knowing that I actually had a strong case. I could have continued the process if I wanted to push through and most likely kept my rent at the original amount, but I am choosing to accept the 5%. That's because I have my own reasons. The main reason is that I simply wanted to maintain a good relationship with my landlord and with property management because I am still planning to stay in this studio apartment for a longer time. So I don't want things to become too hostile between us. At least now they know that I am aware of my rights, that I am knowledgeable and educated when it comes to rental laws and tenants rules. And more importantly, they have seen that I was serious enough to actually open a case against them. So as of now, I'm still in the process of withdrawing the case. It's actually a bit confusing because I couldn't find a clear information on how to properly do it, but I'm currently still within the 5 day window where I'm supposed to submit my checks to the tablig department if I wanted to fully proceed with the whole case. But since I've decided to accept the compromise and settle things amicably with my landlord, I won't be doing any of that. I won't be submitting those checks anymore. And from what I've read, especially from some Reddit discussions, because that's basically where I go to for this information, the first step is that if you don't want the case to progress, you simply do not submit the checks. And after that, there should be an option on the RDC platform for you to be able to withdraw the case. And if that option will not be available, then another thing you can do is to simply go back to the trustee center and request their assistance to help you to withdraw it manually, which of course might involve paying a small fee again. Because I actually tried reaching out for help. I contacted the rental dispute center. I was trying to call them, but no one's really picking up my call at all. Through their live chat and their WhatsApp customer service, they couldn't give me a clear answer as well. I also messaged the guy who helped me at the trustee center, but he has not responded to me anymore. Maybe because he's not supposed to answer me through WhatsApp with the information that I'm asking from him. Or maybe because, again, he's actually one of the new staff, like I've said in my previous videos. He probably needs to refer to someone, and maybe that someone advises him to not respond to me anymore. And again, maybe it's just something they're not allowed to assist with directly through WhatsApp messages. So right now I'm just waiting for the 5 day period to pass. I'm not even completely sure if weekends are included, so I'm just kind of observing what happens next. If nothing shows up on the platform, like a withdraw case button, then I'll most probably go back to the trustee center again and just handle it from there. I also shared this whole experience with some of my coworkers, and they were actually really surprised because a lot of them had their rent increased too, but they didn't know there was a way to actually question it or even challenge their landlords and fight for it. And honestly, I didn't know either at first, and I told them that I just did my research because I was desperate to avoid that 12% increase. Yeah, and then I told them the entire process that I did in order to reach this point. I think it's a good thing that people are becoming, or tenants are becoming, aware of this way of handling illegal rent increase by landlords and property management. It's a good thing that I was able to share this to some of my coworkers because most of them are having like 3 4,000 increase with their rent, and majority of them are married with kids. And right now there's actually no overtimes at work because of what happened recently. We only take home our basic pay, transport and housing allowance. But I guess at some point this is the part where I'm somehow grateful and thinking that I did the right thing of choosing to stay single. Actually, part of me still feels like accepting the 5% is not the smartest move, considering the money that I have paid for the entire process of filing the case or opening the case. But at the same time, I'm looking at the bigger picture. I wanted them to feel like I am meeting them halfway, although the other people would disagree, but that's how I see it. Like I'm the one giving a bit of consideration. Because next year, if they try to increase the rent again, there's no way I'm just going to accept it, especially now that I know the whole process, especially now that I know my rights. And if I have to open a case again, I will most definitely not back down anymore. Or there's no such thing as meet them halfway next year. Another thing I was trying to avoid is eviction, even though it would have to be a 1 year notice. Because in Dubai, it was announced that the new policy for landlords to evict a tenant is 1 year in advance. So they need to send the tenant a formal eviction notice, and they can only evict the tenant if the tenant is not paying on time, the tenant violates some rules from the contract, or if the landlord would like to take back his unit or his own property for personal use or for renovation. There's a lot of rules that involves in that. I have found and learned that in case you get evicted from the unit and the reason is because they want to take back the property or give it to a family member or do some renovations that needs the tenant to move out, they are not allowed to rent that unit for the next 2 years. And if the tenant finds out that they rented the unit right after he got evicted, he can file a case and the landlord will get fined for that. There's Google, there's YouTube, you can find a lot of videos about it. But yeah, that's how Dubai is protecting their tenants against abusive landlords that don't follow the rules or that's too greedy when it comes to money. Then my other reason is that when I choose a place, I am very, very particular. I like to observe the environment, the safety, the just the overall vibe. I wanted to feel it first before making a decision. And right now, I'm just not in the phase yet where I want to go through all of that again. Before I move into this studio, it took me 2 to 3 months to finally make a decision. And I'm just lucky that it's still available. In that 2 to 3 months, I was coming here in this area. I was dining in the restaurants, in the cafes around the area, just sitting there, serving, checking out the scene, people watching, just feeling the vibe. I know it's a little weird, but I have a way of making sure that my nervous system is fully comfortable in the place. I wanted to make sure that it's really quiet, or maybe it was only quiet when I first visited. So I went and visited again the following week. So I guess for now I'm staying, maybe for another year, maybe even two, depending on how things go. And hopefully by then, I'll be able to build some extra income streams. So I'll have more options if I finally decided to move somewhere. Because honestly, for the amount I'm paying right now, I could probably find a bigger space somewhere else, maybe even one with a balcony. I don't really care that much about how big. I'm alone and I don't have that many stuff, but I wanted a bright and open space. And a balcony would be a good addition because I wanted to get some natural sunlight. But at the same time, I genuinely like my current studio. Like, this is my first ever studio apartment. It is small, but it's cozy. It makes me feel safe and it feels like home. Right now, that matters more to me. So that's where I am at the moment. That's the update. I've already signed the new list with the updated rent, and I've already given my checks to the property management. Now I'm just waiting for the updated contract certificate Some people might not agree with my decision, and that's totally okay. I do understand the perspective, but at the end of the day, this is what makes the most sense for me right now. I'll keep you updated on how the case withdrawal process goes step by step. And if any of you are going through something similar or want to learn how to file a case like this, just let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to share what I learned. Thank you so much. I'll see you on my next video. Bye.